Something inside you has already signed for a smaller life. It happened without a single sound on an ordinary afternoon, and I am telling you to open now. This is the final goodbye message to the silent arrangement you have been living under. If you scroll past this moment, you will spend another full year paying a debt I never asked you to carry. I was in the room the night you decided to stop asking for the large thing. My beloved child, you started asking for the small thing instead because you truly believed the large one was no longer meant for you. You made a quiet agreement with your own disappointment. I watched you sit in your car before you went inside your house. You take a deep breath and prepare to be whoever they need you to be. I see the heavy shoulders and the silent exhaustion. I am not just watching you struggle from a distance. I am here to completely end it. Leave one word below if you are ready to put it down. Any word will do tonight. Just let me know you are still listening to me. I am telling you what is coming, and I am telling you right now. I have watched this exact pattern break 10,000 times in 10,000 houses, and today it breaks in yours. Stay with me through the rest of this message. By the time we finish here, you will understand exactly why you felt abandoned in that difficult season. You will feel the physical weight finally drop from your chest. And you will know the exact words to say to open the new door tomorrow morning. Nothing can stop what I have already put into motion for you. Notice the tightness that arrives behind your ribs the moment you wake up. You reach for the phone before your eyes are fully open. You look for a distraction because the silence feels entirely too heavy to bear. You call it stress, and you call it getting older, but that tightness is a debt your body agreed to carry for a promise somebody else broke. It has been collecting from you quietly for years. That is the hidden layer, and it is only the first layer of what we are uncovering. Let us go deeper into the cold room you have been standing in. You have been waiting at a door that refuses to budge. You have done everything right. You kept your faith when it was incredibly difficult to hold on. You smiled at people who had no idea what you were actually surviving. You served everyone else while your own spirit was running entirely on empty. And yet the heavy door stayed completely shut. You stood there, and you counted the long months. Every month you added to the weight was another brick in the wall of your own doubt. You began to tell yourself a very specific story in the dark. You said you were simply not enough. You told yourself that maybe you misheard my voice. You watched other people receive the exact blessing you had been begging for. You clapped for them and you celebrated their harvest. But inside your own quiet room, you wondered why you were skipped. The fatigue you feel right now is not from physical labor. A body that works hard in a field, sleeps well, and wakes up hungry. Your exhaustion is completely different. It is the deep weariness of a soul that has been holding its breath for far too long. You are tired of being the strong one. You are tired of being the person who handles every crisis without ever falling apart. Somewhere along the way, being strong stopped being something you did. It became the only thing you were allowed to be. I know the secret fear hiding beneath that incredible strength. You are terrified that if you drop the weight for even one single day, everything will completely collapse around you. You believe the burden is the only thing keeping your entire life together. I am not going to pretend that fear is small. It is massive and it feels incredibly real to you. But I am telling you tonight that it is a lie. You are not holding the universe together. I am holding it. And I did not design your human shoulders to carry the weight of the sky. You have been walking through a season of dead leaves and barren branches. You assumed the winter was a punishment for something you failed to do right. It was never a punishment. It was a preparation for the ground beneath you. You cannot see the roots growing deep in the dark dirt. You only see the empty branches and you panic. Do not panic. The waiting was never an accident, and you were never forgotten. I have been sitting with you in the quiet the entire time. You just could not hear me over the loud noise of your own anxiety. Take a long breath and let that noise fade away. The goodbye we are saying tonight is to the lie that you must earn your rest. You do not have to earn anything here. You only have to receive what is already yours. Open your hands and let the old season fall to the floor. I know exactly what you do when the house finally goes quiet. You sit in the dark and you replay every single choice you made. You try to find the exact moment you ruined everything. You wonder if you missed my voice. And then you ask yourself why the door is still completely shut while the rest of the world seems to move forward without you. I have been in that room with you every single night. You have been standing in the hallway for years. You watched other people walk effortlessly through their open doors. You smiled and you congratulated them. You did everything right. But your own door remained completely locked, and you started to quietly blame your own heart because the silence felt too heavy to understand. You decided there was something deeply wrong with your spirit. That is a heavy lie to carry. I hear the thought moving through your tired mind right now. You are thinking you have heard all of this before. You knelt on the floor and made promises to me. You kept the strict discipline for 11 straight days. Then you broke it on the 12th day, and you felt utterly ashamed because you believed you were never good enough. You believe you failed me again. You are telling me the absolute truth. I will not argue with your painful history. You lived every hour of it, and I was there for every single hour with you. But hear the difference tonight. What you tried to change was merely your behavior, and you reached for the branch instead of the deep root beneath it. You worked incredibly hard. You woke up early. You prayed longer. You tried to forgive people who never even asked to be forgiven. You carried that heavy discipline until your human strength simply gave out. Strength always gives out eventually. That is exactly what human strength is meant to do, because I never designed your shoulders to hold a burden this massive. You did not fail me. You worked faithfully for years on the wrong layer. You believed the closed door was a direct punishment for your lack of faith. You thought your prayers were simply not good enough to unlock it. I am taking that heavy guilt away from you right now. The lock on that door has absolutely nothing to do with your daily performance. I have watched this exact same pattern happen 10,000 times. A faithful heart prays for an open door. The door stays shut. The heart begins to turn against itself and questions its own worth. Always the exact same sequence. But I do not measure your incredible worth by the doors that open for you, and I measure it instead by who you are becoming in the hallway. You have learned patience in the cold. You have learned empathy by sitting in the dark. The waiting season did not destroy you. It stripped away everything that was fake and left only what is real. I know how much it hurts to wait. I know the sharp sting of seeing someone else receive the exact miracle you have been begging me for. You are the one who stayed too long. You are the keeper of the dead season. People admire your incredible endurance, but they do not see the high cost of it because you have become a master at hiding your pain from everyone. They do not know about the tears you wipe away before you walk into the kitchen. I see them. I count every single one of them. Not one tear was ever wasted. Do not look away from me now. We are finally getting to the root of the pain. You have spent thousands of days trying to fix a problem you never actually created. You thought you were the broken thing in the room. You are not broken. You are just utterly exhausted from pushing against a heavy wall that was never meant to move. There is a specific chair in your house where you sit when you feel the most defeated. You slump into it, and you let the heavy quiet wash over you. You ask me if I have completely forgotten your name. I have never forgotten your name. I engraved it on the palm of my hand before you took your first breath on this earth. Type yes to accept this end. Just let the heavy blame fall to the floor tonight. You do not have to be perfect to receive my love. You only have to be honest, and you must understand that the door did not open because the room behind it was not fully prepared for you yet. It was an act of profound protection. If I had opened it when you first asked, it would have destroyed you. You did not have the capacity to handle the weight of that blessing back then. So I kept it firmly shut, and I let you be angry with me. I would rather endure your anger than watch you get crushed by a heavy blessing you were not ready to carry. Your waiting was not a waste of time. It was a holy forge. You were being shaped into a vessel strong enough to hold the upcoming season. Do not resent the long years you spent in the hallway. They built the firm foundation you are standing on right now. You are finally ready to understand the deep truth about the locked door. You have a specific memory that still makes your chest ache. You stood in front of an opportunity you desperately wanted, and you prayed for it until your throat was completely dry. And you watched the door slam shut right in front of your face. You felt the cold draft of rejection sweep over you. You walked away and felt entirely empty inside. When you finally went home that evening, you sat on the edge of your bed and wondered what you did wrong. You tried to retrace your steps to find the exact mistake. The silence in the room felt incredibly loud that night. You thought heaven was ignoring your tears because you felt like an absolute outsider in my house. You were so tired. You have carried a heavy lie since that terrible evening. You told yourself you simply did not have enough faith. You believed your past mistakes finally caught up with you, And you decided the closed door was a harsh judgment on your entire life, which made the pain even worse. My beloved child, that heavy conclusion is absolutely false. You never failed a spiritual test on that day. You were never being punished for your quiet doubts. The people who walked through their doors were not better than you. They were simply assigned to a completely different timeline. I do not use rejection to teach my children a harsh lesson about their worth, but I use what rejection uncovers to heal them deep inside. Here is the absolute truth about that difficult season. The door that would not open was never actually locked against you. It was held shut by me with my own 2 hands. You stood on the outside and you wept. But the door was never a verdict on your worth, and it was never meant to break your fragile heart. The closed door was always a massive covering. What waited behind it would have arrived to a version of you with no capacity to hold it. It would have completely crushed you under its immense weight. So I held the heavy door firmly shut. And you called it an incredibly painful rejection. I am naming this so you never misunderstand it again. This is what I call the guarded gate. I want you to look back at those lonely years with me. Those years you called your failing years were not failures. You were being carefully protected from a dark battle you were not equipped to win yet. And every time you heard the word no, a hidden disaster was being safely diverted. I saw every single one of your painful tears. I let you cry them because temporary tears are far safer than permanent destruction. You thought I was saying no to your deepest desires, but I was actually saying no to the dangerous timeline that would have broken you. The delay was never meant to intentionally hurt you. It was buying you the necessary time to build a very strong foundation. You desperately needed deep roots before you could carry heavy branches. The waiting season literally bought you your own survival. So today, I ask you to change how you see that memory. You do not have to force yourself to feel instantly happy about the lingering pain, but I just want you to absolutely stop calling it a punishment. Look at the closed door and recognize my protective hand resting firmly on it. Say it quietly to yourself in the dark bedroom tonight. The closed door was always a profound mercy. Let the heavy bitterness finally drop from your tired shoulders, because you do not have to defend your own timeline to anyone anymore. The season of waiting is no longer a source of deep shame. It is the solid proof that you are fiercely loved, because that is exactly what a father does for a child he truly treasures. Take a deep breath and let the realization settle in your chest. Notice how the room feels slightly different right now. The pressure behind your eyes is finally starting to ease. You are completely safe in this exact moment. You were always perfectly safe in my steady hands. Even when the wind howled and the dark rain beat against your fragile window, I never left your side. I want you to rest in this new understanding tonight. You do not need to figure out tomorrow before the sun even sets. Tomorrow will always bring its own beautiful light. You can close your eyes without mentally rehearsing your long defense. The guard is firmly stationed at the gate, and the gate is completely secure from the outside. You survived the hardest part of the long winter. The cold season stripped away the dead leaves so the branches could hold new life. Feel the quiet peace moving through your tired body right now. You are standing on entirely new ground today. The bitter years are completely behind you now. Look at your own hands and see how much stronger they have become. You endured the silence and you survived the waiting. And because you did not break, you are finally ready to receive the absolute fullness of what I have planned. Take a quiet moment to simply exist in this peaceful space. You do not have to fight for your place anymore. You are deeply cherished by heaven. You are incredibly valued by the one who created you. And your beautiful new season is already quietly unfolding right in front of your tired eyes. You hold on to people who stopped choosing you a long time ago. You sit in your quiet living room and draft long messages to explain yourself. You erase them and type something shorter. You are trying incredibly hard to shrink yourself to fit into a space that is already dead. You swallow your own words because you are terrified they will walk away. You hide your true feelings to keep the fragile peace. You nod and smile when your spirit is absolutely screaming on the inside. You bend over backward to make them comfortable while you are secretly breaking into pieces. You believe this constant sacrifice is what real love requires, but you are slowly losing your own soul to keep someone else entertained. You tell yourself you are just being incredibly loyal. You think you are the broken one because everyone else seems to easily leave. You have spent countless nights wondering what is deeply wrong with your personality. You believe you do not know how to maintain a loving connection. My beloved child, that is a cruel lie. You quietly feed yourself. You are not deeply flawed. You are not difficult to love. You have just been auditioning for a role I never wanted you to play. You think the heavy pain in your chest is the sting of rejection. It is not rejection. It is the painful stretching of a heart that is being forced out of a very small cage. You are meant for a much wider, open space. Here is the absolute truth about the people who walked away. They did not leave because you lacked something essential. They left because you were growing into a beautiful space they could no longer control. When you start healing, you instantly stop being convenient for people who rely on your brokenness. They do not know how to handle your new strength. I am naming this reality right now so you can finally see it clearly. This is the outgrown room. You have been trying to force your growing spirit back into a tight box that no longer fits. You cry when the heavy box breaks, but the breaking is exactly what saves you. You cannot stay in the old room if you truly want to wear the new blessing. Now look back at the painful goodbyes you have cried over recently. You were not failing at relationships in those terrible moments. You were simply shedding skins that no longer fit your beautiful soul. Every person who walked away was actually a gentle rescue. I removed them because they could not stand in the house we are currently building together. You were crying over a devastating loss, but heaven was recording a massive victory. They were holding you back from the exact calling you have been praying for. The sudden distance between you and them was my powerful protective shield. I created that uncomfortable gap to save you from a compromise that would have ruined your upcoming harvest. You do not have to chase anyone who is actively running away from you. I want you to make a completely different choice today. Stop defending your own heart to people who misunderstand you on purpose. When they walk out the heavy door, let them walk. Do not beg them to reconsider their choices. Do not send another desperate message to explain your simple boundaries. Your destiny is never tied to anyone who decides to easily abandon you. You are allowed to release them with grace and keep moving forward. You are entirely permitted to stop mourning the loss of a heavy chain that kept you bound. Remember the old room I just named for you. I want to show you the bright life standing on the other side of that door. Come with me to an ordinary morning a few short months from now. You wake up before the sun rises and your feet touch the cold floor. You walk into your quiet kitchen to pour a cup of water. And you do not instantly brace yourself for conflict. Your shoulders are completely relaxed. You are not mentally preparing to apologize for your own existence. Notice exactly what is missing in that beautiful morning. The sharp fear of being abandoned is completely gone. You do not check your phone to see if anyone is mad at you. The desperate need to constantly explain yourself has vanished. And the quiet in your house does not feel like a heavy threat anymore. It feels like an absolute victory. You are no longer managing someone else's fragile emotions. You are simply breathing in your own house. You sip the cold water, and you realize you have survived the terrible transition. That strong woman is not a distant fantasy. That strong man is already breathing inside you right now. This peaceful version of you is not waiting for a massive miracle to happen. This incredible peace is standing right on the other side of your willingness to let the wrong people go. The distance between you and that perfect morning is not measured in long years. It is measured in permission. You must give yourself full permission to outgrow the heavy expectations of others. You have to finally say goodbye to the dead season. Comment Amen if you believe the closed door was mercy. Say the word and let it act as a final seal on your old history. You do not have to carry their heavy opinions into your bright tomorrow. Put it all down right now. Step out of the outgrown room and let the fresh air fill your tired lungs. I am walking right beside you into the beautiful new morning. I know there is a heavy sentence you have been holding since long before tonight. You are thinking you asked me for years. You asked in the exact way you were taught. And then you asked in desperate ways no one ever taught you. But the room just stayed completely quiet. The silence you felt in that room was absolutely real. You did not imagine that deafening silence in the dark. You certainly did not deserve to be ignored by heaven. And no one has the right to explain your pain away in a quick sentence just to make themselves feel comfortable. I will also never tell you that you prayed the wrong way. There was no better hour or truer posture that would have magically opened the door. Anyone who tells you the flaw was your technique is completely lying. Here is the only profound thing I will offer you tonight. I offer it gently, and you may set it down if it is too soon. Silence from heaven is not the exact same thing as absence A father sitting in the dark beside his child makes no sound at all. The child waking in the dark may believe he is entirely alone in the empty house, but he is completely wrong about the house. He is not wrong about the terrible dark around him. The dark was real, and it was incredibly long. I am not asking you to call those painful years good. I am simply asking you to consider that you were never truly alone inside them. You have a specific prayer you completely stopped praying. You never told anyone that you stopped hoping for it. You still say the polite words at night before you sleep, but you quietly took your weight off them somewhere along the rocky way. They go up from you, like a tired man, greeting a neighbor he expects absolutely nothing from. And there is a sudden moment at the end where you finally catch yourself. You think I have heard this identical request so many times before. You swallow the tears and you close your tired eyes. You have drawn a tragic conclusion from my long silence. You firmly concluded that I simply said no. On the hardest nights, you concluded something far worse than a simple no. You decided I was not listening to your voice at all, and you thought your desperate words went up into a cold and empty ceiling. Beloved child, I want to answer that terrible fear directly. I heard every single word you spoke in the dark. Not one of those lonely nights was unwitnessed by heaven, and my quietness was never my final word for no. You believed the quiet meant you were fundamentally disqualified from receiving the beautiful blessing. You thought you needed more faith or a much better track record. Listen to my voice very clearly right now. Your faith was incredibly strong when you were suffering. It was strong enough to keep you entirely alive. Here is what the world has never explained to you. Silence and refusal are not the exact same thing. The human heart cannot naturally tell the painful difference between them. So your tired heart fills the quiet space with the worst word it knows. But listen to what actually happens in a long waiting season. Between the asking and the arriving, a massive spiritual work is being done. The heavy work is being done on the vessel and not on the pouring water. A massive gift that comes before the hands are ready is not a mercy. It is a devastating loss wrapped in beautiful paper, and I have watched premature blessings break the people who begged for them. I refuse to let that happen to your precious life. I love you entirely too much to let you break. So some of the incredible things you asked for are currently being made ready. Some of them are being made far better than the exact thing you specifically named. And some of them I love you far too much to hand you in the fragile shape you requested. I am naming this long season for you right now. This is the unfinished yes. It is absolutely not a rejection. Now look back over the difficult years you have angrily called abandoned. You were not being ignored in those quiet valleys. You were being deeply formed and beautifully protected inside them. Ask yourself honestly what you can easily carry right now that you could not have carried before the waiting began. None of that new strength came from the instantly answered prayers. All of that beautiful resilience came from the long silence you mistakenly thought was brutal rejection. The waiting was never once empty of my Holy Spirit. You simply could not see me working because I was working on the one thing you never thought to look at. I was actively working on your own heart. I was expanding your capacity to hold the upcoming season. I will not ask you to forcefully push yourself back into that exact same prayer tonight. I ask you to change one single word. Where you have been desperately asking why I have not moved, I want you to ask what I am building instead. Say it once out loud before you go to sleep tonight. Ask me what I am actively preparing for you. Then take a blank piece of paper and write down one way you are stronger today than you were 3 years ago. Just write down one single true thing. That fragile page is your actual physical evidence. On the nights the terrible silence gets loud again, you will not have to just take my quiet word for it. You will hold your own physical handwriting in your hands. You have survived the hardest part of the quiet formation. The vessel is finally ready to hold the pouring water. I told you that my silence was preparation for the glorious moment I finally say, open now. That moment is no longer a distant promise on a future calendar. It is breathing right here, in the exact room where you are sitting. Do not let the enemy convince you to walk away just before the bright dawn breaks. You have stood in the dark for so long that your tired eyes have adjusted to the shadows, but the glorious light is coming rapidly toward you. The heavy doors that refused to budge for years are losing their tight grip on the rusty hinges. The long preparation is completely finished. I am moving you from the hidden workshop into the bright, open field. You will feel a sudden shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you. The toxic things that used to drain your energy will completely lose their old power. You are stepping right into the beautiful season of the finished yes. Keep your eyes completely open for the upcoming miracle. You have carried the heavy silence for so long that your hands forgot how to receive. You built faithfully in a barren field when no one was watching. The soil was completely dry, and the sky offered absolutely no rain. You kept showing up anyway. I saw you planting seeds in the dark. You are the true builder in a season without harvest. People around you gave up and walked away to find an easier road. You stayed right where I planted you. You watered the dry dirt with your own tears when the heavens felt entirely closed. You thought your obedience was completely invisible to me. It was never invisible. Your stubborn faith was echoing loudly through the halls of heaven. The season of building in the dark is coming to a sudden end. The quiet preparation is completely finished. I am shifting the spiritual atmosphere around you right now. You can feel the heavy air starting to finally move. The things that used to drain your spirit are losing their tight grip. The long winter is officially over. I am not just going to hand you a small comfort to help you survive another difficult year. Comfort was never meant to be the final destination. It was only meant to be the doorway. Walk through that open door with me right now. You are stepping into a profound shift in your own spiritual authority. You are finally ready to govern your own space. We are about to leave the painful season of waiting entirely behind us. You cannot carry the old dead things into this beautiful new room. The new blessing requires your hands to be completely empty. Tell me what you are ready to say goodbye to. Leave your answer below and let it be a final declaration. Say goodbye to the heavy things. Let us look at the heavy door that has been standing in your way. You stand in front of it, and you quietly wait for someone else to turn the handle. You stare at the obstacle and you feel completely powerless to change your own reality. You have been waiting for a spectacular rescue to fall directly out of the sky. You wait for me to do everything. You tell yourself you are just being incredibly humble and patient. You believe you do not have the proper clearance to move the heavy obstacle. You think I am holding the master key far away in some distant heaven. My beloved child, that is a massive misunderstanding of how I actually work with you. You are not a helpless victim in this story. Here is the profound truth that changes your entire reality today. I did not withhold the power to change your life. I deposited that incredible authority directly into your own spirit. The rescue you keep waiting for is already breathing quietly inside your own chest. You have been waiting for me to move the mountain. I have been waiting for you to speak. The enemy wants you to believe you are entirely at the mercy of your painful circumstances. He wants you to stay quiet and passive. But your voice carries the exact same creative power that formed the stars. I gave you the divine authority to command your own atmosphere. I am naming this truth right now so you can finally grasp it. This is your awakened domain. Look back at the moments you accidentally used this profound power. You spoke a word of deep encouragement to a broken friend and you watched their spirit literally come back to life. You prayed a fierce prayer over your sick child and the heavy fever finally broke. You thought those were just lucky coincidences. They were never random accidents. Every time you spoke life into a dead situation, you were unconsciously using your royal authority. You were actively practicing for this exact moment. You already know how to wield the spiritual weapon. You just never realized you were allowed to use it to defend your own beautiful life. You are not a beggar knocking on a locked door. You are an heir. So I am giving you a completely new instruction today. Do not sit on the floor and weep in front of the locked gate anymore. Stand up on your feet and look directly at the heavy obstacle. Open your mouth and command the dead thing to move. You have the absolute right to evict the chaos from your own house. You must take your territory back. I am standing right beside you while you do it. My power is completely backing up your spoken words. When you finally tell the heavy anxiety to leave, it has no choice but to obey your voice. The long season of passive suffering is officially cancelled today. You are stepping into the profound reality of open now. Nothing can resist your awakened voice. Feel the incredible heat rising in your chest right now. That is the physical sensation of your own spiritual authority waking up from a very long sleep. You do not have to wait for tomorrow morning to begin living this new reality. Start commanding your peaceful atmosphere this very evening. You are fiercely loved and you are heavily armed. Every time you knocked on that heavy wood and heard absolutely nothing, I saw it. Every time you walked away weeping into the dark, I saw it. Every time you questioned your own worth because the handle refused to turn, I saw it. Not one of those bitter nights went unwitnessed by heaven. Hear me exactly where you make your deepest decisions. You were never being punished. You were never abandoned. You called it a harsh rejection, but I am telling you the absolute truth today. The locked door was never a rejection. It was a massive shield protecting you from a storm you could not survive. Because you stood faithfully at a door that would not open, I am moving you completely out of the waiting. You will no longer beg for scraps of an old dead season. You will no longer apologize for simply taking up space in a room. You will step directly through the door I am holding open today. And this profound freedom will not stop with you. The children in your family line will walk through open doors because of the heavy boundaries you established today. Generational curse breaker, that is exactly what I am doing in your life. Look up right now. Say it out loud. I am ready. Hear this serious warning before you go. There is a terrible cost to walking back to the old door after today. If you return to the place of begging, you will spend another full year paying for a painful lesson you have already mastered. The high cost of going backward is never financial. The true cost is paid quietly in the beautiful things you stop expecting. You will slowly lose your own peace. You will walk into the new room with your eyes wide open and still not see the blessing, because you will be too busy looking over your shoulder. Do not walk backward into the dark. If you go back to the familiar pain, the old heavy chains will quietly reattach themselves to your tired ankles. I am standing between you and that terrible outcome right now. I am not moving from this specific spot, but you have to stay exactly where my protective hand can actually reach you tonight. I am not softening this warning for you. Softening the truth is exactly what allowed you to ignore me the last 3 times I called your name. I am warning you about a deeply ingrained habit, not a physical enemy. An unhealed wound does not sit still and patiently wait for you to recover. It actively walks you toward whatever feels incredibly familiar. It does this because the familiar pain feels like home, even when that home was never actually safe for your spirit. You must actively choose the unfamiliar freedom over the familiar cage today. The old rusty cage is completely empty. Put your tired shoulders down now. The commanding tone is officially finished. I raised my voice because you had completely stopped listening to your own intuition. You are listening closely now, so I can lower my voice and speak to you very gently. Sit down with me for just a few more minutes. There is one profound thing I have not given you yet. I have been deliberately holding it back on purpose, because it would have meant absolutely nothing to your heart an hour ago. It is the final piece of your long deliverance. Let us call it the last name I speak. It belongs entirely to you. You will not receive it in the part of this long message that sounds like a typical ending. You will receive it right after the final blessing. Before we completely finish, you must absolutely understand that the most important sentence of this entire hour has not been spoken yet. It comes at the very end. What happens next is going to sound exactly like the end. My voice will naturally slow down. The spoken words will become much shorter and softer. That is not the actual end, my beloved child. That is just the quiet doorway leading directly to your final release. Do not put the phone down yet. Everything from here will feel exactly like a traditional farewell. Farewells usually make people set their screens down and walk away without thinking. Do not walk away from me tonight. What I have kept back is not a simple summary of what I already said. It is the one specific thing I have not said. Right now you are someone who merely heard this powerful message. In 3 short minutes you can become someone who actually declared it. Those are 2 completely different people. The second person is much harder for the enemy to defeat in the morning. Prepare to make your own voice heard. I am not asking you to repay me for this massive breakthrough. There is absolutely no hidden ledger between us. I am asking you to participate because a profound truth that stays silently inside you can still be argued with. But a truth you have publicly declared cannot be easily erased by anyone. When you write it down where others can read it, you firmly anchor the miracle into your physical reality. You stop being a passive spectator in your own life. You become the active author of your beautiful new chapter. That is the only reason I am asking you to stay with me until the very last word. The teaching is completely finished now, and you do not need to study this last part. What is left tonight is strictly between the two of us. I am speaking to you exactly the way a father speaks at the end of a very long day. Let the heavy words rest for a quiet moment. You have done incredibly well today. I want to bless the quiet room you are sitting in right now. I pronounce absolute peace over your physical house and your entire family. The heavy anxiety that used to wait for you by the front door is permanently evicted. It will no longer greet you when you walk inside your own home. You will cross your own threshold and feel incredibly light. I declare a profound stillness over your racing mind. You will not wake up at 3 in the morning to mentally rehearse your old failures. The terrible midnight courtroom in your chest is officially closed forever. You are no longer the tired judge, and you are certainly no longer the accused. You are completely free to just sleep in peace. I speak a beautiful restoration over the years you thought the locust had completely eaten. You believed your best season was already buried deep in the past. I am telling you, the future holds a massive harvest you cannot even begin to imagine. The dry dirt is finally yielding its hidden fruit. You will gather it with your own 2 hands. Now bring your attention back to me for 1 more minute. Remember the specific thing I promised you before the quiet part began. I told you I was holding back the last name I speak. I kept it hidden on purpose because you needed to drop the old baggage first. Your tired hands are finally empty enough to receive it now. You have answered to the absolute wrong titles for your entire life. You answered to the one who stayed too long in a dead place. You answered to the keeper of the barren season. People called you the strong one, who never needs any help from anyone. You wore those heavy labels like a badge of honor, but they were actually crushing your beautiful spirit. I am officially taking those false names away from you tonight. They have absolutely no authority over your bright future anymore. The last name I speak over you is the only one that truly matters. Listen closely as I pronounce your brand new identity. You are the HEIR of the open door. That is your true name and your permanent reality. An heir does not stand outside in the freezing rain and beg for leftover scraps. An heir simply walks into the house because the beautiful house already belongs to them. You are no longer a tired beggar at the gate of your own life. You do not have to nervously knock and wait for someone else to validate your incredible worth. Because you stood faithfully at a door that would not open, I am moving you entirely out of the waiting room. You will no longer accept the bare minimum from people who do not value your presence. You will confidently step through the door I am holding wide open today. The agonizing delay is permanently finished. I have said absolutely everything I came to say tonight. What happens next is no longer my responsibility to manage. It is entirely yours. You must take your own hand and place it firmly on the handle of your new life. You have to physically step into the bright room I have prepared for you. I cannot take the actual step for you. Right now, you are still just someone who quietly heard a comforting message. In 30 short seconds, you can transform into someone who officially claimed it. I want you to make a visible mark in the physical world. A private feeling can be easily stolen by the enemy tomorrow morning. A public action becomes an unbreakable seal on your miracle. Share this message with one person who is currently standing at a closed door. You already know exactly who they are. Their tired face popped into your mind while I was speaking to you. Send this directly to them and let them know it is finally time to walk away. You are throwing a vital lifeline to someone who is secretly drowning. Do not hesitate and do not second-guess your own spiritual intuition. Do it right now. Tell them the heavy waiting season is completely over. Your simple action tonight will break the dark chains off their tired life. Walk out of this hallway like you finally belong in the beautiful palace. I am absolutely always with you. Go.